Bryant, who is one of the hosts for the MMA Charity Event, Not Without a Fight. How did you get involved with this show?
Well, Ron asked me to get involved with it. I've known him for a little while, and we've never ever worked on anything together, so he asked me if I could do it. And at first I didn't think I was going to be in town, and then I said I can, so I was happy to come down and help.
You know, I know you've seen MMA, it's become really popular lately. And have you seen more of like the MMA community getting more involved in such like charity events?
Yeah, I think they have been for a while. I mean, you see there's certain fighters that have had, family issues that people have rallied around. But last year I also worked on the It Ain't Chemo benefit. They do a charity auction, and that was right before an event. I think it was in February out in Vegas. And we auctioned off MMA fighters and nights out with them. And I think because honor and loyalty and family is such a big part of what MMA fighters do in their lives, that I think they respond well to helping out charitable causes. So I've definitely seen a lot of really big-hearted, efforts from the fighters, and I think it's terrific.
Yeah, it's a great cause. And you know what, we were actually seeing you, and you're really comfortable up there. And have you done comedy before?
I haven't done stand-up. I did improv, and I actually would love to get involved in it again, and I've thought about doing that. I did it in New York, years ago, and it's fun. And I was telling some of these guys, like, my natural tendency is to definitely pick on people, and so a lot of the time when I'm doing an interview, I'm actually biting my tongue because there'll be like a million bad jokes I could say to somebody. So a lot of time I have to, in my head, I'm kind of going through, but I'm just trying to keep it, professional or whatever. So I don't know if I could, just doing straight stand-up. I don't know. I would, if I had a good joke writer or something. I think I'm more of a just an impulsive response, kind of riffing, busting on people kind of person. But I definitely enjoy it. So.
Did you go to your prom? Did you go?
Yeah.
Were you prom king? You okay?
No, I wasn't. No.
No? No? Was your mom a good date, though?
It's pretty fun watching you.
Well, thank you.
You are Karyn, so I have to ask you an MMA question.
Yes.
What's your take with Dana White saying that women's MMA will absolutely be part of the UFC?
I think it's terrific, and I think for women to get the exposure that the UFC can bring them, I think it's going to be terrific. I think it is tricky with the depth of the classes, the weight classes, but I think it's kind of that whole Field of Dreams thing. Like, if you build it and you let the women know that there's going to be this great end goal of this great place, then you will get more women involved. And Vic has done a great job. I think Strikeforce has been showing women. There's been a lot going on, but it's been harder for them to break through and get that exposure. And I do think that the fans will come around. I mean, obviously there's a lot of fans of women's MMA already, but I think that the more, if you know how Dana is, Dana stamps his approval on it. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta get that. So I think it's terrific. I mean, we all know who, Ron is terrific, Misha's terrific, Cyborg is a great fighter. I mean, there's a lot of, whatever. Sure. She did whatever she did and owned up to it, but I mean, you can't take away from the fact that Chris is a really great fighter too. So I think it's great. I hope it goes well. You know what I mean? I want to go because it's exciting. I mean, I love it, and I think it gives us a chance to live vicariously. We don't get to see that. The girls in there. So I hope we do. I hope it goes over well.
It would be pretty nice to see that. If that does happen, who do you think would be like the first two women fighters?
Well, it's definitely going to be. I mean, Ronda and Chris, I think, that's the fight everybody wants to see, and I think that's a fight that could go either way, honestly. And I just think that that's going to have the most excitement. I worked, with Gina Carano on some of her fights on CBS, and obviously she was very appealing, and she did very well. And the Cyborg, Gina fight was a big deal. But I think Ronda Cyborg is even bigger because you really don't know how it's going to go. I think everybody pretty much kind of thought Gina would get beat by Chris, whereas on this one, I think it's a much more fair fight in terms of who could win. So I think that's a lot more exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be an intense fight.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, really intense. Honestly, I don't know who I would pick in that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who would win in that one either.
Yeah, it could go either way. So I just want a good seat.
Yeah, me too. How does it feel now that you're not the one asking the question, you're the one getting interviewed now?
A little awkward. No, it's good. You're lovely, and but it's funny because to me, I'm much more comfortable asking the questions because in my head I'm just like, oh God, I just think sometimes I'm not maybe getting my point across as well as I would like to or whatever, but I feel a little more comfortable just asking the questions. But
let's see. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. I appreciate your support. Thank you.